One of the breaking news stories we are tracking at this moment, however, is that ship, the Grand Princess, that we have been tracking coming into California. And there's our Aaron Collins, who's been there for days now, awaiting the arrival. This certainly would not have been the dream cruise that people on this ship were hoping for. But I imagine that especially for those 237 Canadians on that ship, it is a dream scenario to finally see shore and know that many of them will be making their way home to Canada.
Yeah, they'll make their way home to Canada, but first they got to get through the San Francisco Bay here. And before that ship moves too much further, I want to take you right in there. You can see the Grand Princess is making its way into the port of Oakland right now. And once it gets there, you know, that's when the hard, heavy lifting of getting all those people off that ship really gets going. 2,500 passengers from all around the world, and they're going to be dealt with in different ways. So you've got the Canadians that you've mentioned before, and we're hearing some conflicting stories on what's going to happen to them. I'll get back to that. But of course, anyone who's ill is going to be taken off that boat first, and they're going to be dealt with. We know that 21 people on board the Grand Princess tested positive for COVID-19 some days ago. We're not sure if they're actually ill at this point, because of course not everyone who tests positive gets ill, but if they are, then they're definitely going to be dealt with first. So that's going to be sort of the next step as people start to get off that boat, Jennifer.
And so I know it's been tricky. You've been doing your best to get answers on exactly what happens to people once they get off the ship. And so you say you have new information on that, Aaron.
Yeah, well, I've been talking to some passengers that are on the ship, some Canadian passengers, and they're hearing differing stories. They heard from their captain yesterday that it's going to be 2 or maybe even 3 days before everyone disembarks. But then they're hearing from, family and friends at home and from other sort of rumors that maybe Canadians will come right off that ship and go directly to Oakland International Airport, where they'll be flown to CFB Trenton and could be home as quickly as tonight. So it's hard, it's fluid, and of course hard for me to figure that out. Imagine if you're on that ship and you've been on that ship for days and days and days. One man I spoke to today on there for 17 days. You can imagine how important it is to them to figure out exactly what is going on, and I suppose they'll be getting more of those answers once they do finally reach the port of Oakland.
And just to clarify for the Canadians, what the word you're hearing, that they may go straight to the airport, but that would be except, of course, for anyone who did test positive for the virus, Aaron?
Correct. Anyone who's tested positive is going to be taken to medical facilities here in the San Francisco area if they're showing symptoms, if they're not healthy. So those people are going to be taken care of. They'll be off in that first wave of folks that get off the boat. Everyone who gets off this boat is pretty much going to be put into that 14-day quarantine period wherever they end up, Jennifer.
Aaron, that is a welcome sight for many people watching their families make their way into port in Oakland, California. Thank you for standing by as that ship makes its way in, and I know we will be talking again. Aaron Collins at the port in Oakland.
Bet.